Beautiful. So we're just going to pop into Floods and Dragons, boys and girls. Thank you so much for making your home at Twitch the Flood Zone. I appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get on with the show, shall we?
See? You can
Hello
see
there.
his chest hair.
Oh gosh,
Oh
who
my
wears a black
God.
V-neck in 2021?
Jeez.
Who does wear a black V-neck? Oh, that the Flood! How dare you?
We actually were not talking. You were like, they're talking without me. We're like, let's start talking about it.
How dare you? Sorry for just keeping the V-neck alive single-handedly out here. It's no big deal. Oh, wait, no, I see Bron Flower Crown looking very V. Yeah, wait a minute.
You guys are twinning.
Yeah,
too,
that
for
wasn't
sure.
directed at
What's going on, Bron?
That
How you
was
doing?
specifically directed as
Even
a
if I
target at you,
was,
Vlad.
you wouldn't be able to
Influencer.
tell because the beard is
Influencer.
My hoodie's kind of a V-neck.
Oh yeah, I always
But-
I know it doesn't make sense, but crew necks always felt constraining to me. They always felt like they were pulling at my throat. I didn't like it.
No, that makes sense.
I know it's like all the way down here and my neck's up here, but like I don't know, I just don't like it.
It's kind of why I like wear a hoodie most of the time because most of them are kind of looser.
Get too warm. Ran runs hot.
Eh.
Surprise,
I live in
surprise.
Florida.
All right. Let's see here. I think we're all good. Those are the only new webcams, right? So we'll leave Jane and
I
Jatoria
think it's
portrait
just
fine.
fine.
Bron looking fresh with a new webcam. Love it.
Thank you.
All
Got to
right.
get in on those Black Friday sales.
I love it. I resisted, man. I resisted pretty much everything.
The only thing.
Oof.
It was the only
I-
thing, and
I did not.
part of it was because I needed to return the old one to my dad.
I'm sure I'm
I did not
fair
resist.
enough. Oh no. As
At
an
all.
artist, did you get spicy?
I got a 3D printer and 5 new pairs of contacts.
Dude, I was looking at 3D printers.
Yeah.
Did you go Anycubic?
I got one of the ones where it's a resin printer where
Yep.
it like lifts it out
Yep.
of the liquid pool.
That's what I
Yeah.
was looking at. Yep. They need excellent ventilation, especially those ones. Oh, like it'll stink up that place hard. Like and it'll yeah, it's not good for you.
Yeah.
Apparently.
The plan is to put it out in the dining room. That's not really a dining
Also,
room.
we don't have to worry about like snow. We can leave windows open.
Yeah.
The only thing we have to worry about is rain. And like, you can get like a rain shutter to detract.
That was a
so-
legitimate concern for me, Zars, when I was looking at them. I was thinking, what'll happen is like I could put it in a room, close the door, and open the window, but it'll just freeze.
Yeah.
So,
No, not a problem.
anyway, enough about that. Let's get into some Floods and Dragons. I'm a goober, sorry. Getting us off track already. Let's just do a really quick sound check introduction type situation. So just really fast, who are you and what characters do you represent? Let me pull up my D&D. So we'll start it off with an introduction from Zidardis.
Hi, I'm Zindarnis. I DM this group of misfits, if you will.
Perfect.
I don't know what they're in store for tonight, but they have a few days of travel through the wilderness, so it'll be quite interesting.
True. I'm the Flood, Ran Olbuck, Halfling Gunslinger, Eye Patch Wearer, Tiny Dragon Top. Then,
Oh, you
of course,
remembered
we
yourself
have
this week.
Jane Appleblossom.
Hi, I'm Original Dice Mom, aka Jane Appleblossom, and I just rolled an 8 and a 14 for my portent rolls. Whatever.
Nice.
Whatever.
You got
It
Halfling
could
luck. You'll be all right.
I haven't rolled above a 10 all night tonight. All those dice I was rolling before, not a single one above a 10. So, here's
Yeah,
the
I'm
whole
a halfling divination wizard who's also lucky, so let me re-roll it all.
And then, of course, Jatoria.
I'm Undead Cupcake. I played Jatoria, who is a satyr fighter. And she's purple.
It's various shades of purple.
Yeah.
All the purples.
Mhm.
Beautiful. And, of course, Bron Flower Crown.
Yes, I'm Zedicus playing Bron Flower Crown, the Furbolg Barbarian, and the second half to the Stab Chop combination.
Step
thing.
jump.
Oh my,
Love it.
sounds like an infomercial.
Step chop.
I was gonna say, is that like the slap chop, but better?
Yes.
It's more like a stab, 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 chop.
Yeah.
Well, often
Stab,
chop, chop.
stab, chop, chop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Step, step, step. Chop, chop.
Multiple stabs, multiple chops.
It's very blade oriented. All right, before we continue, everyone can hear everyone. Everyone sounds all right. Yes, yes. I'm just going to assume yes. Sound good? No one said otherwise, so I'm just going to go with it. Perfect. We also do have a Roll20 command I don't want to. We haven't cleaned up any specific rules about this, but every now and again, the Zardardus might need a roll for the party, and maybe it'll be chat, and maybe the first person who rolls it will get to be the roll that counts. So pay attention to Zardardus, I guess. That'll be the new rule
And
on
Bron
that.
likes
How that
to
works.
use it for his wild magic barbarian shenanigans.
Oh, that's true. For bronze and wild magic, you might be called upon to roll 20. We'll see what happens.
Make it real wild magic.
So last week we began our journey, our long journey forward. I think we've got like multiple days of travel. We were going from the big city of Narby to, I believe, Helsey to track down some weird wood is the plan.
Halfeld, I think.
Oh, is it Halfeld or is it Halfeld?
I think it's Halfeld because that's where, in my notes, that's where I have Lashara going next.
Fair enough. Well,
Oh, you know what? It says Helsey to Halfeld. So I guess either one, but you'll probably end up going through Halfeld.
we'll probably go to
regardless.
Halfeld anyway.
It's on the way, right?
Yes. Hang on. Actually, my roll 20 didn't pop up there, so hang on one second. Oh, there it is. So we were on our way from Narby over here to Halfeld, multi-day journey. We just began the journey, and of course, we ran into a long series of cats that we then murdered horribly and tried to make cat jerky, and then we ran into more cat. There was a lot of cats.
No, a murder is a group of crows, not a group of cats.
What's a group of cats? A pack. Pack of cats?
I was just
Bag of cats?
continue. I'm sorry.
Can o' cats? I don't know. What's a group of cats?
I think it's a pack. Oh, it's like wolves. I don't-
It's like a pride
A
of
pride,
lions.
yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if you
But is it a pride of
Okay,
only
gotcha.
lions, though, I think?
Little cats are called clouders,
Oh.
or you have glarings.
We murdered a
Other
clouder of
Glaring is
cats.
appropriate.
That's what I know. We murdered a clouder of cats, and they actually gave us a run for our money, but of course there was the stab, 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 chop, chop combinations, and we continue on our way to Halffield to investigate weird wood and hope that find out if it in any way will impact the prophecies of destruction that we've found through our coalition of raven people. They're
Or
murderous.
did you
Anyway.
Clouder a murder of cats?
This
Third
says
floor.
a group of wildcats is called the Destruction.
Hell
The destruction of cats?
That's metal as fuck.
That's
dude.
Destruction
so
of
good.
wildcats.
That's metal as fuck. I love that.
Decimated the destruction of wildcats.
That's pretty incredible. Alright,
Okay.
And with that, we'll leave
so,
Zardardus take us away, I suppose.
Believe you've ended a short rest, or a long rest, rather. I believe that we all hit that at the end of last session. You can double tap it just in case to be safe.
For safety.
The rest of your evening went smoothly after defeating these more scavenger type beasts that were coming to your campsite to take bronze jerky, which jerky is apparently a canon theme now. And you're heading north by northwest towards the city of Helsey, likely to pass through Halfeld on the way. As your day begins, what kind of process does your character go through in the morning? Are they sharpening their blades? What kind of things are they doing as you begin to pack up camp and get ready to head off?
Ran is gonna wake up, make sure his gun is loaded. First things first. Spruce up his little neck scarf. And just pack his things. Get ready to roll.
One blood bullet in the chamber, if I recall correctly.
He might have licked it off, but no.
Oh no. What about
Took
you,
it
Bron? What is
out
your...
of the gun and licked it out.
Yep, he just dropped it out, then licked it and put it back. Bron, what does your morning look like as you are packing up camp?
Well, after last night, when Bron was carrying away the rest of the bodies, he probably would have spent a little bit of time at that point cleaning off his axe, getting all that stuff ready before he went to bed. So waking up, just double checking all of his tools are there, that the bodies are still, well, there, I guess. Because, weird things have
Right.
happened.
So they all start coming alive. No. As you are kind of just making sure everything is all set up, all of your gear is set and checking through everything, cleaning
Yeah.
your blade off a
Packing up
little
the
bit.
jerky that's left.
Whatever jerky you can muster up from what was knocked over. Some is still kind of on that smoking rack that was knocked over. You peer out to the pile of these beasts that you've moved away from the campsite, and you can see various vultures, smaller scavengers, kind of picking at the corpses that you've piled up over quite a bit away.
Understandable and to be expected, and exactly where Bron wants them is far away from camp.
Mhm.
We don't need more showing up.
Jane, as a wizard, especially because you can change your spells out from your spellbook every day, what does your morning look like?
My morning usually involves like having a little bit to eat, making sure I have all of my books. I like count my books twice probably.
All 20 of them.
Yeah, just to make sure they're all there. I also imagine I keep like a little diary of things that have happened too, of like my adventures, which up until recently has been pretty scant of interesting things. And then probably also is writing a letter back home to send when we get to Halfeld.
Okay. So you check your books, especially the ones that you have in your pocket library. Make sure everything is there and in order. Still one interesting book still kind of standing out to you. You've been perplexed by it for a bit, and your grandfather couldn't really help you much with it. There's some strange magic about it. Can you roll an Arcana check for me?
Sure can. That's gonna be a 26.
Jane the Arcane.
There is definitely something magical about this book. On the front, is almost a bronze silver type plate that's been polished to a mirror finish. And you swear when you look into it, you can see a face. But it's been like that for a while.
Is this one of the books that you've sent me in the list? Is this the Crystal in the North?
This is the one that I have not sent you details on yet.
Ooh, okay, interesting. What do I get when I like turn to the first page? Or is there a title or anything on like the spine of the book?
No title or anything, but you've thumbed through it, and it seems to be beauty tips of some sort. Not quite sure what it's about, why you see this kind of other face when you look into it. It's a bit odd.
That is strange. I probably was sleeping near like Jatoria or whatever. So I'm gonna like if Jatoria is awake, I'm gonna nudge her real quick and be like, "Hey, Jet.
Mhm.
Can you look at this book for a second? Do you see anything weird on the cover of it? Do you notice anything strange, like a face in the like almost like mirror there?"
Do I?
Yeah. So Jet, as she hands you the book and you look into that mirror finished metal plate on the front, some of the flowers that are in your hair are wilted. And this is your actual form, not what you see in the mirror. Are wilted. You've had them in there for a little bit. You know, you have your red ones that you collected, some white ones there. But as you look into this mirror, the dirt blood and things that have caked onto your skin fade. The flowers are almost like the day that you picked them.
I don't see a weird face. That's my face. But I look clean, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess that does. Like when I look through the book, it looks like it's beauty tips or something.
Pro tip: wash your face. Got it.
Nice.
Yeah, is there any water nearby?
Not at the moment. You're still kind of in the dry lands. You know you're heading towards forests, possibly a swamp.
Swamp's not good for face washing.
Probably not, but it's possible in the forest there may be a river or a pond or something.
I'm gonna look at the book again and like kind of squint and look harder at what I'm seeing in the like cover. Can I make it out to be like me, or is it decidedly someone different?
You see yourself in a similar manner to what Jet saw. You see kind of cleaned up, freshly bathed Jane, hair properly styled and brushed, as opposed to what it may or may not look like at the moment after going through the couple of encounters you've been through. But you do, it's such a faint silhouette that you're really second guessing yourself on whether or not that other face is actually there.
I'm gonna have to look more into this later. I'm gonna put it back in my bag for now, but I'm making a mental note of it.
Okay. So you place the book back. Jet, what does your morning look like?
Definitely gonna eat. And
As one does.
after looking at the book, I'm going to go look around for some new flowers for my hair.
And it's possible. Plants that live in arid areas still do flowers. So go ahead and just roll a survival check for me as you kind of look around for some new flowers. 12? Not particularly beautiful, like the almost daisy-like flowers that you had previously, but you find some small, a little bit prickly shrubs that do have tiny little flowers on them. And the flowers are kind of almost a turquoise green color. Very small, but you managed to pick a handful of them.
Excellent. Stabby flowers.
Yeah, actually, perfect for you. Placing them in your hair, I assume.
Mhm.
You're removing the white flowers at this point are looking pretty rough. Are you taking those out and replacing them, or are you just adding to?
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of shake my head frantically and just get all the flowers to fall out.
Get all the ones that are there?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you just have these greenish turquoise flowers in your hair. Maybe with the hopes that because of where they're from, they'll stay perky a little bit longer. You all finish wrapping up your camp and begin to head off towards the tree line that you saw in the distance, knowing that you're heading northwest. The day itself, it's a little bit chilly. You know that autumn is here. Winter is probably coming. Frigid chill is kind of sweeping over this open landscape as you make your way towards the woods. Once you finally get there and enter the tree line, the breeze is stifled a bit. But then the humidity kind of kicks up from all of the plant life. And the chill is no longer the wind chill hitting you, but it's almost this moist, wet, cold that seeps in deep to your bones as you begin moving through the forest. After a few hours of travel, without much issue, who is leading the way for me towards Halfeld, Elsie, whichever?
Through a swamp? I'll probably take the lead.
No swamp yet. Still in the forest.
Okay, so just forestry.
We're
Yeah, I'll
getting
still
into
take
like a
the lead.
more marsh-like lands, kind of, is the idea.
Yeah.
It's you can definitely feel the humidity kicking up as you traverse this forest,
Gotcha.
as if you are heading towards some wetlands.
All right. I'll take the lead though, going through trees.
Okay.
Ryan
That
was
sounds
just
good.
going to propose in general. We might start leading with Bron, if he's cool with it.
It's fine.
It always seems like it might be wise to keep you up there.
Really, Zadardus, you're making me play D&D in Florida? How dare you?
I was just going to say, it sounds like Florida.
Wait till you meet the swamp man.
The mosquitoes are kicking in.
I'm just gonna throw you guys up here. So Bron kind of leading the way, the rest of you guys kind of following behind. Bron, can you make a survival check as you're kind of
Alright.
going through these woods?
9.
You're not proficient with survival?
No, I'm not. I'm proficient in nature.
Okay. I will say in this instance, because it's not specifically tracking a single beast, it's more getting a direction or heading from the sun and the sky. I'll let you roll with advantage because of your experience with nature.
All right. Still a 9.
Oh, that's rough.
Yep.
But heading in the right general direction of the city you're heading to isn't too difficult. So you're heading in the right direction as far as you can tell. You're not going in circles or anything crazy.
All right.
Or getting lost in this forest. You're just not sure if you are on a perfect beeline to where you're heading.
Fair enough.
Now, with Bron in the lead, can you make a perception check for me?
Sure can. 15.
Let me see. Well, that's a D6. I don't know what I was doing in that box. Yeah, and just like the rest of my rolls tonight, easy enough to see. About, I'm gonna back you up a hair actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 60-ish feet ahead of you. You can see 2 people, appear somewhat elvish in nature, wearing leather armor. They're not looking in the direction that you're coming at the moment. One of them is kneeling down on the ground, appears to be, with your experience in nature, probably tracking, as the other one kind of stands next to him, looking down and looking ahead.
Okay. So the first thing I'll stop there, signal to the party, kind of point them out through the bushes.
Yeah, and with a 1 and a 6 on the dice, they don't hear you coming at the moment. They're more busy with what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna signal to the rest of my party, everyone else, where they are, and then I'm gonna keep walking forward, not trying to be stealthy, but also not intending to make a lot of noise yet, because I realize they're tracking and they might be, well, they're focused on other things.
Okay, so just trying not to interrupt. Go ahead and just for fun roll a stealth roll.
Okay.
For fun.
That's a 17.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely, I'm gonna move them back because that's easier than moving all of you to the very edge of the map. But you and kind of everybody else trailing a little bit behind you here, you managed to get within about 20 feet of them.
All right.
And then one of them kind of, didn't expect to see people out here.
Us either. You, what are you hunting?
Rumor has it that there's a, well, more of a legend. A large bear that lives in these woods. Large bone spikes coming out of its back. And we're hoping that we can find it and, dispatch it. Perhaps sell the skin, meats, and various things.
Bear with spikes is new to Bron.
This is a bit odd. And you've heard of things like dire wolves that are similar in stature. Large wolves with kind of these bony protrusions coming out of their bodies. But they seem to be tracking a bear with similar attributes.
Okay.
Dire bear?
Yeah, more or less.
Any luck on finding Bone Bear?
Well, we've been tracking it for a few days. Seems to be off in this direction. I think we're getting close. You all seem to be, and as he kind of looks at you, noticing all of the various weaponry you all have and armor and whatnot.
And the
You all
large
seem
cat
to
pelt.
be right. Quite capable. Are you heading off this way?
In this direction. Yes, we are making our way through forest.
Making your way? He doesn't say that.
No one says that.
Well, if you're, I say that. Well, if you're, if a lot of you are heading off this way, from what we've heard, the two of us may be able to take it, but could use some companions.
Bron
Of
is
course,
down
if
to
you-
see Big Bear. And of
course, if-
look at the rest of the party.
Yeah, if the rest of you are busy and want to be on your way, fair enough. It's an opportunity.
We're walking in the
perhaps-
same direction. We may as well.
And he kind of like opens his pouch and looks in, kind of looks up at the other guy. I can spare a few gold for the time.
Can we
he'll-
have some of the bear meat?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I suppose. We'd like to take the pelt at least, though. Seems like you have one yourselves.
Pelt is yours. I'll say as I, look at the big cat pelt I have draped over my shoulders.
Yeah. Kind of looks up at his partner there. I mean, any of you have experience tracking beasts? Give me a hand. If not, I'll lead.
I'll offer to give him a hand for sure.
Go ahead, and he'll roll one with advantage here. Well, there's the first above a 10 for the night. As you kind of come up to meet them, and again, I'm just gonna move them back because that makes life easier. Weird trees aren't moving. He seems to know exactly what he's doing.
Okay.
Especially with your help. Any small things he might miss, you're just like, hey, broken, whatever there, broken stick, bear marks on the tree. And it's a little bit slower pace than you were traveling. And eventually he kind of reaches back. Shh. I think our prey is just ahead.
How dense are the woods?
Not extremely.
I'm gonna kind of step forward and go up to the one who's kind of in charge and just say, which direction?
He kind of points a finger out through the thicket that you see. And on the other side, you can see a bear kind of just past the trees. About 15 feet in length. Little under 10 feet at the shoulder. Large bones. and spikes protruding from its body. And it's just kind of sniffing around in the dirt at the moment. And as he points that out, and the rest of you kind of peek and see what Jane and him are looking at, you can see through the trees this large bear on the other side.
Rand, preoccupied, kind of kicking dirt as he walks along. He's going to bump into whoever's behind, not realizing we were all stopping.
All right, nice.
Am I able to take this opportunity to cast mage armor on myself?
Yeah, you're not in initiative yet. The bear doesn't seem to notice.
Good, I'm
all
doing
of
it.
you.
I am also going
I was
to
gonna
do
say,
that.
Jet.
My plan.
I wrote a note.
Note to self. Mage armor.
So it's kind of sniffing around through the dirt. Appears to be digging up. Yeah, it definitely doesn't notice you at this point in time. Digging something up, maybe roots, various things. Not quite sure what it's doing. The hunter that was tracking the most starts to draw his arrow.
Rand realizes
We all
what's going
ready,
on,
then?
pulls his gun.
All right. And he releases the arrow from his quiver. Everybody go ahead and roll initiative for me. Woo! Ran! Ready to go, dude.
Rand shoots first and asks
Bron
questions
rolled
later.
pretty high too.
30-20.
Jane is gonna go last.
Bron axes
Jane
first
with
and
a
asks questions later.
6.
Yeah, he does.
Jet 12, Bron 20. Wow, nice, Bron.
hmm
And they are going to have a 15. And our bear friend is going to have a mystery number, which you will find out.
I like it.
Mystery.
So, this arrow gets released immediately following. As the arrow is flying through the air, Bron, what do you do? Or not Bron, Ran, what do you do?
Rand's gonna take a quick move over about here, maybe? And just kind of bop off to the side a few feet and fire his gun at the face of the bear. Right between the eyes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Is that close enough?
50. It's like 60 out, so you should be fine, yeah.
Cool.
I think your revolver. Oh, your revolver's 40, actually, for
Never-
your close range.
Well, I shot, so I don't know what to do. Disadvantage?
It will be unless you wanted to move more directly forward and get
Yeah,
closer.
you can still move more.
I'm going to stick to the disadvantage. My first roll is 29. I believe in myself.
Okay.
Here we go. Shoot. 15. Well,
And against the normal bear, you might expect that to work. But you fire your shot, and it's kind of through the trees a bit. And it doesn't hit a tree. It does strike the bear. But what it strikes instead of the bear in its face that you were aiming for, or the flesh on the shoulders, it impacts one of those bone spikes, and you see the bone spike just at the tip and shatter. It is a miss for all intents and purposes.
interesting. Ran, well, of course, he pulled the trigger twice already, so he's just going to roll again for his next shot.
Of course.
25 and or, god damn it, 15. That's another one.
15. So you fire another shot, and this one does impact one of the trees there on the side, just as you're trying to aim between.
Rand goes, rats.
Anything else? Rats where?
Rand exclaims, rats.
No, that's just Cinder.
Oh, it's a good boy.
I love that. Good call. Good call. Anything else?
Nope.
Bonus
Cinder
action.
starts
Any movement
sobbing.
left?
Nope, that's it.
Alrighty.
Rand's
There's
Bron.
no
Bron.
rat
Mad
to
at himself.
cry.
All right, for Bron's turn, I am going to move just slightly in front of the party, getting between the bear and the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to... so as my action, I'm going to cast Bolstering Magic on myself.
Nice.
And then as my bonus action, I am going to Rage.
Hell yeah, brother.
Surprise.
Yep. Hey, chat, who wants it?
We gotta-
One.
we gotta roll 20 from
one.
If it's a 1, Bron is running.
Which Twitch gives you
17.
17.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Arcane energy taps into the mind of those around you. One creature of your choice within 30 feet of you must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, or you see a glimpse of the creature's thoughts, learning how it plans to attack you. As a result, the creature has disadvantage on attack rolls against me until the start of my next turn. Until your rage ends.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, I'm
35
35.
from the bear.
You could have moved forward first.
I did move forward. I just needed another 5 feet.
I will
and
allow
didn't
you to
count.
if you want to move up another hex, so you can use that. That's
I will
fine.
absolutely move up another hex or two.
And that's
do
why
that.
you're the best DM.
Yeah, because you have
Um,
plenty of movement speed.
Oh yeah,
You could have
Right.
probably made it almost halfway up to the bear.
I could have made it up to there.
I'm picturing
Yeah.
Bron just
Yeah.
kind of like taking like big methodical steps, just like getting himself all charged up. I like it.
Yeah, very slow, just passing through Jane and the elfish people, pulling my axe out, very calm rage, calm bolstering magic on himself, getting ready. And so then I can use this as a bonus action on every turn until my rage ends.
Dope. So if there's like multiple things.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So he has disadvantage on attacks against you. That's fucking huge.
Yep. He must also
as
succeed a wisdom
far-
saving throw. Or
Oh,
I see a glimpse
or-
of their thoughts.
Okay, well it's a bear.
But that's what gives him
10.
the disadvantage.
Right, does he still have disadvantage? It's only disadvantage if you see the
Yeah.
12
no.
total?
If I read this correctly, must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, or I see a glimpse of how they plan to attack. Oh, as a result, they have disadvantage.
Exactly.
As a result, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
12 I think
No.
fails. I think we said your
Yeah.
DC is 14.
Yeah.
He intends on mauling you to death, if that helps.
Fair.
Bron sees it, but I'm picturing it like that, like when the Robert Downey Sherlock Holmes, where he like pictures how the guy's gonna hit him and stuff, so he knows exactly the way he's gonna claw in, and he's like, "Nah, I'm dodging that."
Or the exact way. Well, I don't want to arcane spoilers. Never mind.
Oh, so good. Anyway, continue. Everyone watch Arcane. Side note.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna stand there and wait with my axe out, ready for the bear now that I'm prepped.
So are you holding your attack action if it comes within range?
I believe my
That's
action.
what it sounds like.
I believe my action was
Is your
my
bolster?
bolstering magic.
Okay. Dope. All right.
So yeah, my axe is out, but I don't think I can hold an action.
He's just standing there looking
Sounds
tough.
good.
Yeah.
Yep. Looking real tough. And so at the same time you step forward and do that, and Rand fires his shots. That first arrow gets released. For a... Oh. 16 plus 4 for a dirty 20, which sure hits. Longbow. For max damage. His second arrow, as he quickly releases another one, misses. So he fires that first one, kind of holding it for a moment and releasing. Impacts the bear in the shoulder. The second one kind of misses wide as the bear begins to move. His friend draws his longbow and takes 2 shots as well. The first one is a natural 20.
Nice.
The second one is a 17. Nice. So his friend releases that first arrow, and it impacts the bear just right, kind of in the fleshy part on the side of the head. And the second arrow, you watch as it just barely between two of these spikes that are coming off the back finds the hole. It impacts into the body.
Is the bear just standing there taking all this?
Technically, this is all kind of at the same time.
No, I know.
It's
I'm
one
just
round.
Yeah.
But speaking of the bear, as those two bullets, the one bullet hits one of the bone spikes, shatters it, and these arrows are fired into him, the bear looks up and sees all of you. Mostly noticing where the arrows came from, heading that direction. One kind of cracks this small tree over. 2, 3, 4, 5, right up to Bron here. And it's going to make 3 attacks against you, Bron.
Yeah.
First one is a 14.
Does not hit.
Second one is a 19.
That hits.
And the third one is a 22.
These are with disadvantage, correct?
No.
Oh, or is that on the damage roll?
Nope. No.
Oh, okay. It's just no disadvantage. Okay.
The first one missed anyways. The second one, I believe, was a 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, he rolled another 19. The second one was a 20-some, and he rolled an 18?
That hits, yeah.
With disadvantage? Okay, so the second 2 hit.
Yeah.
As he first goes to bite out at you, digging deep into the dirt, charging, goes to bite out, and you take your great axe, kind of block him out of the way, but then that paw from that side comes, tearing across your chest, and as you kind of get your feet back under you, the second claw from the other side tears across your chest as well. Oh. 30 slashing damage
Is that
Jeez.
halved
Yikes.
already?
to 15.
Okay.
Oh God.
Good lord.
That's still a decent chunk.
And I need you to make a strength saving throw.
That is fair. 15.
Fair enough. So although these claws tear through you and you kind of lose your footing for a moment, you manage to just stand yourself back up and stay on your feet.
Okay.
Jet, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna move over here. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, here.
Okay. Okay.
And
20 feet away-ish.
I'm gonna throw my daggers at it.
Okay. So you both daggers into your hands. Go ahead and roll your 2 attacks.
11.
11, first one just hits one of those bones, ping, and pings off to the side.
I rolled another 11.
So you just dual wield, summon both of your daggers overhead, fire both of them off, and they just ping ping off of those bone spikes that are on his back.
But you looked awesome doing it.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
So that's movement, bonus action to summon your daggers and throw. All good on you then, Jane.
Helping.
You did as much as Rand did.
John Ye.
I'm just counting hex tiles. I'm going to cast a shatter near the bear's ass.
You're gonna shatter his ass. Got it.
Yeah,
What is
shatter
that?
that bear's ass.
Con save?
Yep, 15.
That's a 15 on the die plus.
Okay. So it should still take half damage. So let me roll that. So it'll be 9 damage.
Okie dokie. Movement bonus action.
Nah, I'm just actually no, I'm gonna take a step back. 2 steps back. Because I am small and squishy.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Makes sense. Anything else?
No, I'm good.
So Ran, you fired off those first 2 shots. One just barely impacting one of these bone spikes protruding from this beast. The other impacting a tree. What do you do now?
I mean, Rand's gonna probably just keep on shooting. Let's see, I'm 40 feet now though,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you're within your close range. So,
I don't even want to knock it back or do anything else. I don't think, because our boy Bron is busy. So I'm just gonna pull the trigger.
All right,
Just keep shooting. 21. Dirt. Yeah.
Sure hits.
Heck yeah. That is 13 piercing damage.
Okay.
Rand's just leveling his gun and just pulling the trigger. Nothing fancy.
Nice.
Keeping it simple. 20 dirty.
Time. Yeah, dirty 20 sure hits.
For 14 piercing.
14, all right. So kind of miffed at the first 2 shots you took, not quite finding the target. You just kind of level.
Exactly. Take a breath. Bam, bam.
Yeah, impacting the bear. Excellent. Any movement bonus action?
Don't mess with my giant furball friend. Nope, nothing. Chilling.
Alrighty. Bron, this bear has run up to you, clawed through your chest. What are you doing?
Okay, so just technical question. Is strafing around the bear, what does that... Is that like a disengaging kind of movement?
As long as you don't leave its melee range, you are not getting an opportunity to attack.
Okay, cool. Just, that's what I was wanting to check. Thank you. So yeah, Bron is going to try and move over to the right side, turning the bear, giving his allies the broadside to hit.
Sure.
And then I'm going to swing on it twice with my great axe.
Do it, baby.
16.
16.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of take a step to the side, swing, and find one of those bony protrusions coming right out of its shoulder. Ching!
So
just barely slides off of it. Just misses.
I believe this is where my bolstering magic comes in, though, correct? I can add it. I can roll and add it to this roll.
Whenever making an attack roll and ability check, add the number rolled to the d20 roll. So it's for all of them. So I will, go ahead.
Okay.
Roll, because there's no d3. So roll a d4. Reroll any if you roll a 4.
That's a 4. Just 3. So that is now a 19.
So just as you swing down and it starts to slide off that bone, you manage to turn the blade and cut into the body.
All right. 4. Oh, geez. 12 damage.
12, okay.
Yeah.
Pull the blade back out, make the second attack.
That's a 17.
17, very similar. You just find that gap right between the bones and cut into the body. Just hits.
Beautiful. 16 damage.
Okay.
And then as my bonus action, I am again going to use the arcane spell to tap into its mind and see what's going on.
Does that last until the end of your next turn if they fail? Or does it just continue? Does it specify?
As a result, the creature has disadvantage on rolls until the start of my next turn.
Okay, so cool. So it does do another one. Okay, here we go. Wisdom. Same roll.
So fail.
It's going to maul you again.
Yeah.
But good call on that. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Both of the hunters notch 2 arrows and fire. First one. One of them misses wide, the other one impacts. Whoop! That D8's gone. They're rolling a lot of max damage on these. That's awesome. Second one fires his 2 arrows. Both missing wide. So the first one fires 2. One kind of goes over the head of the bear, the other impacting it. And as the second one fires, his angle kind of trying to avoid Bron, they both kind of go over the top of the bear. Speaking of the bear, turns to you, Bron.
Its first attack roll, it's going to roll an 8.
Ooh, let's go.
Okay, Bron does a 17 hit.
17 will hit.
Okay. 2 claw attacks coming at you as well. One of those is a natural 20, the other one is a 21.
Don't forget to roll with disadvantage. He
So the
forgot to
first
roll
one-
with disadvantage.
The first one is a 21. The second one.
Does that automatically trigger every turn? I thought it was just till the end of his first turn.
I cast it
It's-
again.
Oh, okay.
He
got
cast it again.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, every turn I can recast on the bear.
15.
That is my AC. Yeah, that hits.
So all 3 hit. No
Yeah.
crit though, because the disadvantage. Good call. Thank you, Dice Mom.
You're welcome.
So it bites into you for 8 halved, so 4, and the 2 claws combined for a lot less than last time.
Thank you.
18. So 4 and 18 is nope. The 4 and then 18 have 9, so 15 total. As it bites and then swipes at you with both claws, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
21.
21 again. You just managed to keep your feet underneath you as this hulking form slashes into your body. Jet, your turn.
Okay. I'm going to recall my daggers and say that was a warning. And go ahead and try to hit it again.
Throwing them again.
That's a 12. Hey, a 26.
Yeah.
That first one was a warning too.
Yeah. So you again summon both as you're already like in the motion of getting ready to throw. They pop into your hands and you release. First one just catching one of those bone spikes protruding from the body, and the second one finding flesh to pierce into. Go and roll damage.
5.
Okay.
But a lot of blood though on that 5.
Anything else?
It looked good.
I'm actually gonna throw another dagger.
Yeah.
Ooh, a 24.
Yeah, I guess
Nice.
technically your summon's the bonus. Well, your summon is your bonus action,
Oh, never mind.
so you don't
Okay.
get a third toss. If you had to and you tossed, you could pull another one out, but your bonus action to summon them back.
Gotcha.
Curses.
So any movement.
No, I'm gonna stay where I am.
Okie dokie. Jane.
Oh yeah,
Watch this-
I'm also
watch this
here.
bear carving into Bron. What do you do?
This time, I'm gonna go at it with a Tasha's Mind Whip. This will be an intelligence saving throw of 15 or better.
Well, it not a smart bear.
I was counting on that.
That is a -2. I don't
Great.
think that passes.
So that's 11 damage, and it can only make a movement, an action, or a bonus action
Or
on its
it's-
next turn.
Right. And movement bonus action for you.
No, I'm good.
Okie dokie. Ran, you watch as the bear roars out in some sort of pain coming within its head. What do you do?
Take that opportunity to shoot a more vulnerable spot.
That's right.
Just keep pulling the
Level that
trigger.
pistol.
Oh, you're
Go
going to
ahead.
expose your neck? Wow. Rand's a simple man. He pulls the trigger. 23
Okay, that one hits.
for 13 damage.
Okay, second shot.
It's like you know me. 29
Sure hits.
for 9 damage. Bang, bang!
Almost a crit.
Trying to unload on that new vulnerable spot released or like exposed by
so-
its rearing from mind whips.
Right. It's kind of rearing back, but Bron's also turned it, leaving its side open to you, and you just level and fire 2 shots right into the side of the bear.
Give me those easy shots, Bron. Champion.
Anything else? Bonus action, movement.
I'm gonna keep circling it a little bit. Kind of
Okay.
like going there maybe.
You have 2 shots remaining
2,
in
3,
your
4,
revolver at the moment.
Do I have 2? I thought I was empty. I thought I had to reload next round. Am I crazy?
You have 6 total, remember?
Yeah.
6.
I know, but haven't I shot 3 times now?
Oh,
3 turns
oh
worth?
no, this is round 3.
Yeah.
So it is actually empty. Mhm.
Yeah, that's right. Next
Good
turn
call,
I have
thank
to
you.
reload. I can't reload this turn, so I just
I
have to wait.
appreciate you.
No, no worries. No, because my first 2 they sucked. Next 2 are fine. Next 2 are fine.
So there's movement. Bonus action.
I've got no bonuses that are useful, so thank you. I'm good.
I'll throw it out there since we're still learning. You could action surge reload.
Oh, I can action surge reload.
Ooh.
Oh, I could action surge reload.
That is the one and only time I'm going to tell you.
I would like to action surge reload, please.
There you go. Sure.
I would like to do that, please. Ran
you fire-
Oldbuck. Something
you
tickling
fire
the back
boom,
of his
boom.
mind.
And as you're kind of dashing between the trees, flip the revolver open, drop the empty casings out, drop 6 more in, and you're ready to go for your next one.
Something in the back of Brand's mind tickled his thoughts and
There's a small crow flying over and went, action surge, action surge.
Herb Wars.
Yep. So you watch the side of this bear. Yep, one and only time you get that. You watch the bear get impacted on the side from Rand's bullets, Bron, as it's just clawed into you. What are you doing?
Taking it head on, and I'm swinging my great axe twice at the side of its head.
Just fucking do it, dude.
That's a 22,
Yep.
14 damage.
Okay.
A 27
Yeah.
for 14 damage.
Y'all have had a lot of 18s and 19s tonight.
Yeah, we're hitting.
For how many?
14 twice.
Oh god, okay. I thought
Yeah,
you said
damage.
24 on the second one. I was like, what?
No, just both
I
were
was like,
14s.
how? Okay.
Oh, these are very
yeah.
low damage rolls. These could be 24s.
You swipe down, and though the hide and things on the face and neck are really thick, it doesn't have those bones protruding, protecting it. And you manage to just swipe through twice, cutting deep into the flesh. As the hunters begin to knock both of their arrows again and fire.
And then bonus action, I'm hitting it again with
Yep. Wisdom save. That's actually the same exact roll again.
All right, so it's gonna maul
Yeah.
me, and it has
With
disadvantage.
With disadvantage. I'll remember this time. The first hunter releases both of his arrows. And unfortunately, even though he's pretty close, they both dive into the ground. A bit of overcorrection from him as he shot over last time. The second hunter, on the other hand, still trying to dodge Bron with the arrows, does manage to find a soft spot on the bears. He releases both. One kind of impacts the bone and the other right into the shoulder. Not very deep, though.
Imagine if we didn't help these two.
Imagine. You'd be coming back through and find 2 dead bodies.
Yeah, I
All of your decisions have consequences. Bear's turn with disadvantage on everything.
Yep.
Goes to bite you. For a 19 plus. Dodge another crit with the disadvantage, by the way.
Oh.
That was a 20 and a 19 on the dice.
Ooh.
First
Chat.
claw. That one's cocked. For an 18 on the dice, dodging another crit.
Chat,
yeah,
manifest
okay.
the crits for us, not for him.
Last roll. I don't think that a 12 hits.
Does not.
So the bite and the first claw tear through you, and you just barely manage to avoid because you can see it coming as you're reading its mind. You can kind of see it coming and manage to dodge out of the brunt of it. Let's see, claw, or no, bite, and one claw. Halved for 10 damage.
All right.
And fortunately enough, you see them coming, and just at that moment where it looks like it's going right at your throat with one of the claws, you step to the side and lean back, and it tears across your chest instead.
All right.
You've dodged 3 crits with that.
Yeah, I
You've
have.
dodged 3 crits with that.
And Bron is still hurting.
And managing to dodge the other claw coming across, easy enough to keep your footing.
All right.
Jet, watching this bear tear into Bron, what are you doing?
I'm gonna call my daggers back again. For real this time. We're out of warnings. A 23
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
for 6 damage.
Okay.
And a 12.
For real this time. Boom, and you fire both again. One, you're hitting the bear, but you're hitting those bone spikes, and your daggers, unfortunately, are just bouncing off because they don't have the weight behind them. But that second one finds a piece of flesh to carve into. Go ahead and roll. Oh, you rolled damage for the first one already.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Okie dokie. Jane.
I'm gonna do the Tasha's Mind Whip again.
All right. Int. Oh, I keep bouncing out of the tray. Int.
Also, out of curiosity, the bear is not using a bonus action to hit Zedekis with multiple attacks, correct?
No, it is just his
Okay.
multi-attack.
Just making sure.
That one's a -3. That was a
Cool.
nat 1. So,
9 damage.
and again, only the attacks. Anything else? Movement bonus?
I'm good.
All right. You watch the bear roar again in pain. Ran, what are you doing?
Well, thankfully, Ran reloaded rather rapidly on his last turn. You know, in spite of a spot of inspiration and wisdom that Ran clearly possesses. And I'm just gonna keep on shooting the goddamn bear.
Do it, dude. Do it.
I mean, it's what I got. Ooh. But Ran was so excited, fumbling the bullets back in, he shot and missed with a 12.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh. But then he, takes a deep breath and gets himself ready with a 22.
There you go.
On that second shot, he got a little out of sorts. Feeling
Still
good.
kind of like, so you just close the reroll, you snap it closed and fire as you're still kind of finding that placement. The first one misses wide, but the second one, you're all set.
Rand's real slick, but sometimes he tries to be a little too slick. But this time he hits for 17.
17, excellent. Deep shot.
Piercing.
Bron,
blow.
so this bear has begun to tear through you. You're standing there, enraged with your great axe.
Yeah.
The bear doesn't look good.
Yeah, the bear doesn't look good. Bron's looking hurt-ish. And Bron's angry.
like you're
real
hurt.
angry at how
I feel like
this is
you're
going.
hurt, Yeah, I just looked at your character sheet. Your hurt is still more than everybody else's HP.
I know.
Oh,
Doesn't stop
gosh.
Bron from being angry and louder than the bear at this point.
Yeah, does not stop Bron from just being angry and loud. So while the bear is reeling from the mind whip and then the bullets, I'm gonna take my great axe and slash it right into this bear's gut.
Do it.
And that is hitting for 10 damage.
Okay, go ahead and roll your second one.
I don't think that's possible to hit, so I'm not even gonna roll the D3. So I hit it once in the gut with my axe, and then as it's coming down, Bron's having to back up so the bear doesn't fall on him.
Yeah, so you swipe,
Yeah.
swing around wide underneath, carve in, and as you reel back to swing again from the top side, the bear knows it's coming this time.
Yeah.
Leans over a bit, and those bone spikes on the back, your great axe just gets caught in between them as you pull it back out.
Yeah. And then with one final yell of
yes.
rage, I'm hitting it with that arcane head magic.
Big fail again.
Yeah.
The two hunters watching this knock their arrows again and release. The first one is cocked. First one finding parts with both arrows. Okay. So, Bron, bloodied and beaten, ripping into the gut, swinging through. Great axe gets caught, and just as you're going to pull that great axe out of those bone spikes that it leaned into your swing with, you watch as two arrows from the leader into the side of the skull of the bear, and it falls over to the ground as you kind of step to the side out of the way.
Nice shot.
Oh, thank you. You don't look so good.
Battle was big. Battle was big. I say as I, pat my chest down, start looking at my wounds.
Well, he kind of looks around to all of you. I'm glad we came across you. I'm not sure we would have made it home. You wanted some meat.
Yes.
Fair enough. We'll get to work skinning the beast, and feel free to take whatever. And he starts cutting the belly open and begins to pull the pelt off of the beast. Who of you is trying to grab some meaty haunches?
Rand's just sitting there scoffing, realizing, of course, these guys would have been dead. I'm just going to reload my guns and stand off to the side. In the shade
Okay.
of the tree.
Aw.
Sit on my butt. Reload my gun. Polish her up.
Yeah, after the last round of seeing things get skinned and quartered for meat, Jane wanders off a little bit away to save her constitution.
Okay, fair enough. Bron Jet.
I'm gonna let the leader do his thing while I just also rest under a tree and kind of recuperate and catch myself.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think you earned that.
Yeah.
What about you, Jet?
So like cutting off the meat myself? Is that what you're asking?
If you want to. I mean, he can do it if you guys want to just kind of sit for a second. But he's kind of offered that you're welcome to start doing what you need to do as well, if that's something you want to do.
I'm just gonna let them do it because they're probably better at it than I am.
Fair enough. So he kind of looks around, sees all of you getting a rest. Fair enough. And he kind of signals over to the other guy who comes up and begins butchering the bear with him. It's gonna take a bit, so you guys can go ahead and take a short rest if you like,
Beast.
and spend any hit dice if you want to do that as well, which I think is probably just Bron.
Yeah.
So feel free to spend any hit dice. The rest of you can go ahead and double tap short rest. And eventually he kind of gets that bear pelt off, wraps it in a bit of rope, kind of backpacks it a bit. Even the pelt alone is almost the size of him. Bunch of the meat has been cut off. You all are welcome to take whatever you like. Where are y'all headed?
We are headed back up north. We are hoping to go meet a bard. I'll talk to her about a tree.
Well, that sounds quite interesting. Careful going through the swamps there on the other side of the forest. Been out there a few times hunting some rather large beasts, especially at night. A lot of the nocturnal types you might want to be careful of.
Solid
Good to know.
advice. How'd you guys
Alright.
survive those ones?
Those ones not as scary as the bear.
Fair enough. Hmm.
I expected a big bear, but not this, at least.
Bear was big. Biggest bear Bron seen.
Yeah, I think biggest we've seen too. Here, and he kind of grabs a few large pieces of meat and sets them down on some branches that they have laid out. You're welcome to have that. We can't carry much more with us, but this as well. And he tosses 10 gold down next to the meat for your trouble.
Rand perks up.
Finally composing himself and, healing a little bit. Bron's gonna stand up and just, thank you. It was fun hunt.
Oh, well, no, I think we owe you guys the thanks. I'm pretty sure we'd look more like this bear than he does now.
Us too, if we ran into bear without you. You guys have nice shooting.
Well, I appreciate it. So we'll make our way back to Narby now, see if we can sell this. Safe travels north. It's a bit of a way that you're heading there.
You enjoy
yeah.
We'll be
Narby?
fine. We'll be fine.
No, as quick as you handled the bear, I assume so. Y'all call yourselves anything?
Call ourselves anything.
Oh yeah, usually groups like you. You seem to be adventurers, seem to have a name. If not,
Sounds
fair enough.
ostentatious.
I could see that.
They must be
Um,
full of themselves.
Fair enough. I'll safe travels. We're gonna head back that way. Anything left on the bear, you're welcome to take as well. And they begin to kind of head off back the direction you all came through the woods. As you have some bear haunches
They would for sure have died without us.
and 10 gold. Yep.
They would for sure have died. You were way too nice to them, Bron. They were dead.
They would have.
For sure.
Elves are nimble, but that bear strong.
Just glad you got all right. Got out all right.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh, yes, bear hit hard. Bron, yes. Bron glad he okay too. I'm gonna walk over to the bear. Are there any claws left?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Had a guy.
I'm gonna take a bear claw or two. Just, yeah.
Yeah, and with your just raw strength, especially with like the Fearbolg bullshit,
Yeah.
however many you want, there's 4 on each paw.
All right. I'll probably, I think, take like 2 or 3.
Sure.
I'll take a couple of them.
Sure. However many you want to add there. You probably have to add them as a custom item in your thing,
Yeah.
but however many you want between 1 and 16.
I like it.
Can do.
As you just I mean, your pull weight is literally like a Ford Fiesta, so you just snap them right off. You guys have some bear haunches and whatnot.
So map-wise, are we just kind of like beneath Hawk Woods, or where are we at?
1 second. You would be in these woods, so you see that kind of water area cutting there to the east of the Hawkwoods. You're in the forest on the other side there.
Okay, so we're still on the Narby side.
So that's kind of like the swampy area in the middle that you're heading through.
Got it.
And your first day brought you close to those woods from Narby. Your second day will bring you somewhere into the swamp.
Got it. I thought these were like lakes in a row, so this was the swamp. Got it.
We're not anywhere near Ghost Tower, right?
What?
Shush.
You mean what?
Ghost Tower.
Wait, what tower? That sounds ominous.
That's weird. It's actually just a really nice, like, marble tower that is not haunted at all.
Of course not.
Sounds great and inviting.
Ghosts.
The name was given to it to keep people away.
Obviously.
Fully believe it.
All right. Well, I guess we.
Find out.
Go to there.
Why haven't we just been calling ourselves the Breakfast Club?
Jerky
Victoria
Squad.
Because
loves breakfast.
because Jet
Squad is
is the
in
Breakfast
chat.
Club alone. Jerky
Fine, the
Squad
Breakfast
is
Club
pretty
and Company.
good. That's not bad.
I was also thinking we could do like a We're the Millers type of thing and just call ourselves like a family name like Smith. We're the Smiths.
It's not bad.
I love it. I love it.
You guys are getting paid?
Anything else you want to say to each other or anything before you start heading out or as you start heading out?
Gonna poke the bear meat with my gun and be like, "You gonna smoke this stuff too, Bron?"
Sure, why not? I could go try some bear jerky. Or, dinner tonight.
That sounds.
Yep,
All right.
Jerky Squad.
Yeah.
Hard contender.
That sounds all right.
Yeah.
I guess
I'll pick up whatever bear meat's there and carry it with us.
Easy
for
enough.
Mealtime tonight.
I can also put some in my bag of holding if it gets too heavy to carry. I need to put my books somewhere else.
Well,
Are there compartments in a bag of holding? Subdivisions?
no, but it's. I would say that, like, this could be wrong based on, like, the lore and rules it's written, but, like, bag of holding to me kind of feels like everything's just kind of, like, floating in and. Like, yes, it's the
Like
same
an
space,
ether.
but it's just kind of like an ether kind of just
Yeah.
like floating in there. So I would say that if you put the bear meat in there, then it's not going to get blood all over the books. But whatever you guys want
I'll
to do.
put some bear meat in my bag of holding.
Fair enough.
The things
Easy enough for Bron to carry too. Bron can carry a smart car on his back, so.
Yeah. With
Yeah,
everybody
but if
inside the party
I
in
can
it.
carry 500 pounds and it only be 15 pounds.
Bron can carry a whole clown car on his back. He'll be fine.
With
Here,
all of
we'll,
the clowns.
We'll do
Right.
it. We'll put the old like big cat pelt in my bag of holding.
Okay.
We'll see if we can fit that in there.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever you guys want to put in there. It's not.
I was gonna ask the
Not a
bags of
big
holding
deal.
if it is a magical ether in there, does it also preserve? How does that work?
Um.
Would stuff rot in a bag of holding?
I mean, meat and things rot from being exposed to open air and
And there's no open
temperature,
air
and
inside of a
there's
bag of
no
holding.
air in there. Temperature is probably not really existent, maybe extremely cold. But I would say, yeah, I mean, if you threw it in there, it would take longer to rot.
Just a note.
Interesting.
Good to know. I wasn't sure. Yeah.
There's no air at least, so it's not like bacteria or oxygen are going to get to it.
Okay, yeah. We'll put meat in the bag of holding. You can carry around the pelt.
Sounds good.
All right, fair enough. And as you begin to wrap this up and head off back north, we will take our quick 5 here. So it is just about that time.
Sounds about right. I was gonna say, as we're getting sidetracked, maybe we should take our 5.
Yep.
But then you brought us back on point with the meat, so If everyone's good, shall we continue? Welcome
All right.
back to Floods and Dragons.
So after defeating your bear and gathering what meat and stuff was left, the 10 gold is there. However, you all see fit to do with that. You begin heading back off through the woods.
Oh, should we have got a bear skull? We should have got a bear skull.
You can get that before you go if you like.
Let's get a bear skull.
Yes.
Let's
You
make
want
a
me to have bears?
helmet for Ran
Start
out
our
of a
skull
bear
collection.
skull.
Or for Jet, she likes skulls. Anyway, grab the bear skull, throw it in the bag.
All right. I'll lift my great axe and chop off the bear's
Behead.
head.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not? Easy,
Yeah.
easy enough. You have a bear head now.
Yep.
At the moment, flesh still attached, but you could change
Yep.
that if you want.
Boil it off when we camp. No big deal.
You're not using my iron pot for that.
All right, everybody, have a great night.
Someone hates stock, I guess. Well, come on.
Beef stock, nah, bear stock.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Nutritious, all right?
You begin to head back off through the woods. You can feel that humidity creeping up as you start to head towards the swamp, but the sun is beginning to get low in the trees. Assuming you begin to set up camp for the evening.
Rand's just panting, adjusting his eye patch from one eye to the other, wiping the sweat away.
Yeah, we don't want to go in there at night.
Agreed.
Yeah, and the forest floor beneath your feet with each step is beginning to kind of like that wet, almost muddy sound with each footprint.
Think we should look around for a dry spot and set up a camp.
Agreed.
Can we search around the area, see if we can find like a suitable spot?
Yeah, it won't be too difficult. Go ahead and just roll a nature check, whoever wants to, as you're all kind of trying to find a dry spot.
I can roll that one.
I recommend.
23.
Yeah. It was a trivial check anyways. You find a spot that's relatively dry, a few trees around, a little bit of a smaller hill, if you will. It's not really a hill, but a little bit higher ground to begin setting up camp on, gathering firewood and whatnot. We'll do 3 watches for the evening if you guys want to discuss whichever order you want to take those in.
I propose you take the first sleep, Mr. Bron. You're not looking so hot.
Bron is feeling much better after rest, but Bron will sleep first.
I don't mind taking
Oh.
first watch.
Oh.
Oh. You, far be it for me. Jane, if you'd like.
It is 3 watches, so like 2 of you can take 1 if you want.
This would be really interesting.
It would be.
Would it?
It could.
Y'all are getting real weird. Maybe we're just going to hang out. Talk about bear meat. Don't worry about it.
No, if you try and talk to Jane about bear meat, you're not going to get much of a conversation.
All right, so who's taking first watch?
Rand just points at Jane back and forth, kind of like,
Sure.
2 of you. Who's taking second?
I'll do second.
Okay, and Bron trying to get some rest. We'll take third.
Yep.
Sorry, I had a burp. Cool. So Jane and Ran, what are you guys talking about? What are you doing while you're on watch here? Kind of keeping the fire going and keeping an eye out.
poking the fire, and I'm going to fiddle with my my night vision goggles. I can't remember what they're called in D&D worlds.
Goggles of night, close
That's
enough.
the one, goggles of night. Just kind of fiddling.
Night vision goggles is perfectly fine by me.
Perfect.
I know what you mean.
Fiddling with those, sitting by Jane, or across the fire.
Oh, Jane actually had a plan to, like, after the last night that we, like, had to endure of multiple attacks by big cats, she's a little paranoid. So I'm gonna cast light on my, my quarterstaff. That was an accidental roll. I'm gonna cast light on my quarterstaff, and I'm going to use my boots of flying, and I'm just going to,
punching it?
like... No! I said that was an accidental roll.
I know.
Um,
Continue.
I'm going to fly around the camp, like in a... I'm going to set up a perimeter around the camp, and I'm just going to fly around with my boots of flying and my big light stick.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Ryan's just gonna sit down and watch Jane going
And
around in
watch
circles.
Jane fly circles around. I love it.
We get some helicopter noises with this.
Sounds like Jane should take the alarm spell.
I've been thinking about that, actually. I can only fly for up to 4 hours.
Your watch is only 2, so you'd be fine.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll do it for the whole watch. Probably after the first hour. I imagine I get bored. I'm gonna take that book back out of my bag. With the, like, makeup tips. And flip through it.
What was with
and
that
I'm also
book?
gonna look again at the mirror on the front, or the little shield on the front.
It's the same as you saw before, at the moment. But you begin to read through it, and I'll send you a little bit more about what you read through in there.
Cool.
You guys just avoid each other? Are you talking or anything else?
Probably a few awkward exchanges of like, "Hey, what you reading? Book, cool."
Actually, Ran, I'm curious about something. Can you tell me what you see when you look in the reflection of this book here? I'm just gonna hand it to you.
Ran a little suspicious after some of Jane's pranks in the past, but slowly accepts the book and has a look.
That's fair.
I don't remember how this goes. This is a Dardis thing?
Yep.
Rand's gonna have a little peek in the mirror
Ran
of bookish doom.
Kind of lift the goggles and begin to look in with the firelight illuminating your face. And kind of pull it away from yourself a bit, and remembering where that cat had torn through you and ripped part of your clothes, you see the clothes intact. Kind of lift your shirt down a bit. No scar there, but surely there will be one. The stubble that's kind of grown in through the past couple days of travel fades away. Mustache still there, of course.
Well twisted and coiffed. Thank you.
But you're cleaned up. You're perfect.
Rand gives himself a wink. I see myself looking good. Looking good. Can't just keep my eyes on it.
You didn't notice anything like strange in it?
I mean, I'm a little tidier than we are right now, but otherwise, just me.
Interesting.
Magic book of me, how I should look when I'm, well bathed.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Wow, what do you guys see? Saw you and Jet looking at it earlier.
Mean, I kind of see the same thing. There's just every now and then when I've looked in the book, I kind of see. I think it's another face, but I don't know. Anytime I feel like I'm really focused in on it, I don't know. It seems like they're gone.
Weird.
Maybe I just need some sleep.
I just saw my face, but
I know. I see my face in the book too, but I mean, I look and I see my face, and I also see another face. But I don't really. I don't know. It's not very clear. I'm sure I'm just tired or
creepy.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. You keep running into weird stuff with your magic, so And your
Magic's-
books and whatnot. I'd be careful.
I mean, magic's kind of weird, so yeah.
Probably
take it.
demon-possessed book with our luck.
I'm gonna reach out for the book. Do you hand it back to me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put it back in my bag.
Yeah, Rand looked at his reflection and was like, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, maybe he's gonna like keep it. He really likes how he looks in this.
It was the book titled #filtered.
Beauty filter on.
Rand's gonna be self-satisfied. The fact that we had like a little conversation, just kind of like sit back, smile, and not pushing his luck with Jane anymore.
Yeah.
Just happy that they had a good exchange where it wasn't.
A good moment between the two of you. A bit of bonding. As you're keeping your lookout, go ahead and just roll perception checks to both of you.
20.
I'm gonna use a lucky point.
Dirty 20.
Sure, day's almost over. Might as well. Dirty 20, very nice. Yo, I'm kind of bussing.
I mean, have you seen Randall Buck? Are you kidding me?
Mine was a 14.
Okay. Jane, you don't notice it. But Ran, as you're kind of looking past the fire up through the tree leaves, you do see just a couple shooting stars over the course of your watch. Just a few little.
Oh, that's nice. Rand's gonna gesture and see the stars.
Oh, huh.
And with them pointed out, Jane, you see them easy enough.
I wonder
It's
if
not
that
like-
was like a planned meteor shower or.
It's not like a meteor shower frequency. It's just
Oh,
the
okay.
occasional.
Just pretty. We're having a romantic moment, Jane. No. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Jane's not your type. Remember, you're a dragon top, not a halfling top.
Goddamn right.
The ship just went from a sloop to a brig. We're getting there. But as your eyes and eyelids start to feel a little bit heavy,
Oof. Should probably
knowing that Jet's up next.
bug Jet.
Yeah, I'll go wake her up.
Rand tucks into his bedroll.
I'm gonna walk over to Jatoria. Before Rand falls asleep, do you want to leave your?
Oh yeah.
goggles
Hands off his
for-
goggles to you.
Okay, cool. Thanks. I'm gonna go over to Jet and kind of just gently nudge her.
Is it time already?
Yeah, sorry. Here, I have the goggles for you if you want.
Ooh, thank you.
I feel
Yeah,
I'm
like
going to immediately put them on.
I feel like waking Jet up. There's like a little bit of drool and like hair in her face. It's going, huh? Okay. Drop the goggles on for your watch. What are you doing during your watch?
With the goggles on, I'm kind of interested on like patrolling around, not too far from everybody else, but just kind of looking around with my daggers out, kind of like threatening trees as I go.
Oh no, not the trees. Bron's gonna be very upset when he finds out about this. So goggles on, kind of walking around to the trees, pointing your dagger at them. The trees don't move. No ookie kooky gooey trees around today. Go ahead and just roll a perception check as you're patrolling the area around.
11?
Okay. Nothing in particular catches your eye. A little bit of breeze picking up in the evening. And the chill kind of hits you a little bit. Pull your cloak up just a hair. Kind of bundled up underneath as you're walking around. Pretty quiet. Hear the rustle of leaves. Don't hear any wolves or anything like that. You spend a couple hours walking around before you start to get a little bit sleepy. And knowing that Bron will take the last watch, as you can kind of see the moon getting towards the horizon. You go and wake him up?
Gonna kind of gently tap his shoulder. Bron.
Oh,
Let me just hold on. So you go tap his shoulder. Oh yeah, that's and Jet, as she comes and like kind of tries to gently nudge you awake, actually hits right where one of those bears had clawed through you, or the bear had clawed through you, and just hits like right on the spot.
Okay. Oh, Jet. Oh, shoulder. Oh.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It will heal. Oh. Look at my shoulder and like adjust the bandage.
Yeah.
Watch time.
You see Jet kind of looking over you, teal flowers in hair with the horns and goggles on.
Goggles is goggles and flowers. Good luck.
Thanks.
Blend in.
Actually, you can have these now. And I'm going to take the goggles off, hand them to him. They're pretty neat.
Hold them up and look through them a little bit. Not putting them on my head because big head. But I'll look through them.
Yeah, there's a strap on them, and it's not too hard to adjust, so you can just adjust it pretty quickly and put them on. What are you doing? What are you doing during your watch, Bron?
So I'm going to readdress my wounds. And then I'm going to start dealing with that bear skull that I was taking.
Oh, no. Okay. You have decapitated bear skull.
I have skull.
What are you doing to try to... Are you just skinning it? Are you just cutting all the flesh off? Are you doing some other means?
I'm doing nothing fancy to said bear skull, because most of this, like the fur was already taken.
I just rubbed my eyes. There goes my makeup. All right, go on.
Nothing fancy. I'm just going to attempt to peel the flesh off of it. Like, yeah.
Cute.
Use the knife, peel the flesh off of it, get the skull if I can,
Clean it up.
Yep.
Yeah, clean it all up, that kind of thing. Nothing fancy.
Go ahead, just roll. Just go ahead and roll a nature check.
It's a 9.
Yeah, so it's going to take you the better part of your watch. I mean, it's not a hard thing to do. It's just going to take you a bit of time to do.
Yeah.
And as you're doing it and kind of keeping an eye out, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
10.
Okay. Spend the better part of your watch, and you begin to see the pre-dawn light kind of peeking over the tree line. Skull is clean. It just took you quite a bit of time, especially with kind of the harder bits of the hide there. And as the sun begins to peek up, the rest of you begin to hear the birds chirping in the forest kind of gently wake you, and you see Bron just scraping off the last bits of the fur and flesh from the skull.
If Swamp wasn't there, it's actually pretty nice morning.
And little chilly from the evening, but
Stretching.
not as chilly or breezy as the day before.
Rand meanders off and pees on a tree.
Nice. So it's cool, comfortable out.
I want to check out the skull.
I will happily hand the skull over.
Yeah, I mean it's cleaned. Bone still not like dried out like you would see if you were buying like an animal skull. So the bone is still a little bit, I guess, soft. It's not really the right word, but it has that bit on the outside it's not quite dried out to where it kind of has that hollow like to it. Bit of weight. It's probably almost 2.5 feet long. It's pretty large. 2.5 feet is like a little bit less than a meter. It's like let's see, if a meter is 100, if you split that into thirds, 60, it's like 70 centimeters ish.
Okay.
So it's pretty large. But it's cleaned. It's just still fresh.
Can I pick it up, or is it too heavy for me?
76 centimeters for 2.5 feet, by the way. I should keep that up. It's not too heavy. It's easy enough to pick up. It's not a whole bear. It has some weight to it, but it's not, a whole 45-pound animal skull.
I'm gonna pick it up and hold it up to my face and make it talk. I attacked Bron and all I got was death.
I love it, first of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, roll a performance check.
Okay.
The Jack? I didn't even know.
16.
So yeah, it's good. So you actually make it. You kind of grab the bottom jaw is not really attached anymore with all of the flesh and tendons and everything removed, but you grab the bottom jaw and pick it up, and it actually kind of looks like the bear's talking when you say it.
I'll laugh and play along heartily, even, holding my slashed chest. Bron at least avoided death.
You did a good job. You can have your skull back now.
Thank you. Well then, you wanted skull.
This is the Ember Island Players episode.
No, I just thought we should, not let it go to waste. Might be worth something.
We got a long rest in, right?
Yeah, you can go ahead and take your long rest. Good call, thank you.
My sweet, sweet action surge is back.
One and only time, I'm going to remind you. One and only time. Get one.
So Rand's stretching and slowly packing and eating and doing all that stuff.
Quick question about my portent rolls.
Mm-hmm.
One of the rolls that I did was a 1. Do I re-roll that?
Let me check the
halfling?
halfling feature. When you roll a 1 for an attack roll, ability check, saving throw, you can re-roll.
Okay, so I just leave this. Well, this is good. A crit 1 for an enemy is nice to have on our hands.
Right, because it's not an attack roll, saving throw, and ability check. It's a feature.
Right.
that you
So a
can
1
use.
and an 11.
But a 1 can be extremely useful.
Yeah, it certainly can.
That would have missed Bron.
Yes, it would have missed anyone.
Right. Automagically.
I mostly used my 1 portent in the fight with the bear because I wanted to do experiments. Basically, I just wanted to gauge the bear's attack.
Yeah, I figured. Okay. So you guys begin to pack up camp with your new bear skull for whatever purposes you see fit in the future.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll that bear skull up inside of like blankets or something and pack it away in a bag. It's not something that needs to be out.
Begin to head off. Humidity rising. Footsteps each sinking into the mud beneath your feet. As you begin to enter the swamplands.
Rand muttering and complaining with a very squishy step that tries to stick at his boot. Son of a gun, swamps.
Before you enter... Oh, I was say, before you enter the swamp, is there anything else? Or anything you want to say?
I'm gonna start hovering with my boots. I'm not walking through this muck if I can help it.
Got to keep the fur clean.
Right.
Yeah, boots with the fur gotta stay clean.
Did we put the fur in the boots yet? I thought
I thought we
I don't think
did.
we did that. I thought we didn't do
we
that
talked
yet.
about it, but
Oh, okay.
I cut
think we
fur
have
from the
the
cat's
fur.
tube.
We have it.
Oh, okay.
Right, we
Yeah,
have
yeah,
the
we
fur,
haven't
but we
affixed
have
the fur
not
to the boot.
lined them yet.
next
Correct.
watch, someone's got to stitch that in.
Yeah.
Anybody proficient with leatherworkers' tools or weavers' tools?
Anyway,
No, it's
I
gonna be
don't think so.
interesting. They'll get attached. It ain't gonna
It'll
be pretty.
be fine.
could wait till the next town.
Yeah.
You can always hire somebody to do it, but
Mhm.
could also take care of it yourself. All right, you head off through the swamps. The day almost breezeless and cool as the humidity begins to kind of bite through whatever clothes you're wearing. And eventually kind of find yourself trudging through, trying to keep to the dry land. Find yourself coughing a bit. And as you kind of look around, you can see a faint yellowish green, almost fog lingering. It's kind of burning your lungs a bit as you start to move towards it.
Is this normal? Looking at my forest friends.
Not fog like this in forest where Bron from, but Bron not from swamp. Swamps are bad forest. They're wannabe forest, not good forest.
Damn.
fucking poser.
Wanna be
Be right back. I'm gonna go down to the Everglades real quick and tell them it's not a real forest there.
And we never saw Dice Mom again.
I would get lost in the Everglades.
The boreal forest up here would like to have a word.
I'm gonna bring my cape over my mouth, kind of, and is there anywhere in particular? Or is it just kind of a general haze that this is?
It's kind of lingering over everywhere you can see as you kind of descend further into the swamp.
Rand, taking a cue from Jane, pulls up his scarf a little bit and tries to cover his face a little. This is worse than any city I've ever been in. What is this? Coughing.
Does it smell like anything identifiable?
Go ahead and roll a nature check.
Nature friends.
It's only a 7.
Can I roll one as well?
Sure. I'll allow 2.
Mine's only a 10.
I mean, they both have noses.
Right.
Definitely smells.
Does have a slightly sulfuric kind of smell to it.
Since I grew up south of here, and we've only been traveling 2 days, a 2-day travel isn't that outrageous. Would I have heard?
Sure,
of
go
what's
ahead and roll a
around here?
nature check. Go ahead.
Okay. I was kind of leaning more
Fine.
towards maybe
Go ahead.
history, but I'll do a nature check.
Nope. Definitely did.
Oh, that's only a 12, so.
Confirmed. Sulfury.
Yeah. No, I mean, the 10 and the 12 get basically the same thing out of it. It's a bit sulfury. You just kind of have a burning sensation to your lungs, and as you kind of lift your cloaks or shirts or scarves or whatever and kind of cover your mouths, it mitigates it a bit. Natural gases of this manner exist. Especially in the more wild parts of this world. It's probably not a good idea to continue breathing it. Though these cloths over your head, over your faces seem to help. And as you begin to continue trying to push through and push past it, can everybody, assuming taking the note from Jane and Ran of to covering your faces that you all are,
Yeah.
Everybody go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw with advantage from these coverings.
I was just gonna say, is this the count as poison? Because I've got advantage against that. But
Natural 20, so
It does,
22.
but you already have it. You get advantage from this too. So,
advantage means I have to roll twice, right?
yep, twice take the higher. All right, 22.
21 for Ren.
Okay,
23.
13 for Bron.
23. 13.
Yeah.
How are we gonna carry him?
It's not knockout gas.
Thinking ahead here.
But Bron, you are kind of having a really rough time with it, especially being from the forest and never having experienced much kind of
Pollution.
gases and pollution and things that you might encounter with
Yeah.
cities, and especially cities with large kind of refinery or forging districts where there's lots of smoke and things from metals and oils. You're having a difficult time with it. You're gonna gain the poisoned condition.
Okay.
And so that is disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, I believe.
Dang.
And you can even add that into your little conditions tab.
Boys and girls, I'd like to mark this is the first condition in Floods and Dragons history.
Trying to
Congratulations,
find where
Bron.
they can-
Yeah, I don't think
Yay.
anybody's been like feared or anything like that so
First
far.
time, literally
Oh,
first
there
time.
we go. I see it now.
Technically, prone is a condition, but this
Until
is
you
like
said
the
this, I
first.
didn't know conditions had a tab.
Same.
Technically, prone is a condition, but usually you guys just stand back up. So, but it's definitely poisoned is a more hindering.
Yeah.
You kind of feel it burning in your lungs. You're feeling a bit woozy as you guys continue through this part of the swamp. And Bron's visibly having a hard time to the rest of you.
How much longer is this gonna go on? Ugh.
You doing all right, Bron?
Is not like out back home in forest. Stupid pretend forest.
Bron, do you have inspiration?
No.
Please take one.
All right.
Also, I think we might be naming this episode Pretend Forest.
Absolutely.
At this point, I'm gonna take out my great axe and use it because it's pretty long. I'm gonna use it like a walking stick.
Okay. Kind of lean it to help
Yeah.
keep your footing and everything as you're getting a little bit woozy.
Yeah.
And it continues for a while. You guys are in this gas for much longer than is comfortable as you continue through. And eventually it starts to clear up a bit. I had to burp. Eventually it starts
Got our
to clear up
DM
a
too.
bit. The ground becomes less of the constant mud and water. Though there's still some softer spots, you can tell you're starting to exiting the other side of this swamp as the sun begins to get low on the horizon. It's kind of at this moment as you're exiting this fog, Jitoria. Let me
Mhm.
check something. Yeah, you have a backpack because everybody has a backpack. It's D&D. You kind of feel your backpack moving, wiggling, almost like there's something in it.
Gonna take it off, throw it down, pull my dagger out, stare at it.
So you all watch as suddenly Jet just like rips her backpack off, chucks it to the side, and gets ready to stab it.
The hell are you doing?
There's something wiggling in there.
Are we still in the fog, by the way?
You've just begun clearing the other side.
I want to get out
So I
of
wouldn't
this
say in it,
fog.
but-
What do you can't stop now?
It's clearing up to where it's comfortable enough to breathe.
There's something in there.
Yeah, your pots and stuff.
I didn't put anything in there that wiggles.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Is it
I'm
like
gonna nudge it with my foot.
Kind of nudge it with your foot, and you can see a little bit of movement, but you nudge it with your foot, and suddenly, like, there's something moving around in there.
See?
Ran immediately pulls out his gun and points it at the bag.
Don't you dare shoot my bag.
Looking at Jane, is Cinder safe?
Is Cinder in my cloak where you normally
Cinder's
sit?
with you, and as a note, whatever is in there is. If Cinder wasn't being fed so many scraps from Iran, it'd be about the size of Cinder.
Rand looks at Jetoria. You sure I can't shoot your bag?
Jet, out of curiosity, did you put the bear's skull in your bag?
No.
Bron
Did
still
you-
has bear skull.
Did you take anything from the bear?
No.
We killed the bear. This thing is moving.
And weapons drawn at the bag. Just at that point, they're all kind of like, what the fuck is going on? Asking each other questions, trying to figure it out. Out of the corner of the flap that covers the top of the bag, where there's about an opening about that big, you see a small furry creature. About that big in size. Light brown with a white streak running down its back. Kind of scampers out a bit.
Aww.
And there's what appears to be the D&D version of like a small sugar glider that crawls out of your bag.
Really big eyes.
It's cute.
Yeah. It kind of coughs and looks around for a moment, and it looks kind of panicked.
Rand just keeps the gun trained on it suspiciously.
Jet, can you roll a nature check for me?
$16?
Yeah. As you left everybody sleeping in your bag at camp, little guy might have been looking for somewhere warm to stay and crawled into your bag during the evening.
Aw. Well, he didn't come from the swamp, so he's been in there for a while.
Wait, this thing's been traveling on your back this whole time and you didn't know?
It didn't start wiggling until just now.
Rand's just gonna can we get out of this damn fog, please? All the way out?
To your best guess, it was probably asleep till you started going into this fog.
Tiny lungs. Fog, you know.
Well, unless
It's
we're
awake
making
now.
it dinner. Should we just keep moving or make it dinner or what are we doing?
Who is that gonna feed? That's not even a snack.
It's kind of like,
I mean, you're always hungry.
as all of you are kind of semicircled around it, some of you weapons still trained on it. It's kind of like slowly moving back, terrified. You can see it shaking a little bit.
I'm going to kneel down and attempt to give it a communicate with it in some way. Not that I'm gonna be
In
able to
what
understand
way?
it. I'm just gonna try and ask it. I was just gonna ask it, like, if it's. No, wait. Can't understand it, so I'm just gonna tell it like we're on the other side of a swamp.
Oh, with your
Yeah,
your
speech
thing.
of beast
yeah,
and
with
leaf.
your thing. Right,
Yeah,
right.
with my furbolg powers.
There we go.
I'm gonna attempt to talk to it.
Okay. What are you saying to it?
I'm gonna go like, hey little guy, you sleeping in there? We are no longer at home. So you are welcome to come with us out of swamp, but do not stay in swamp. It's not good forest.
Just go ahead and roll, because you have advantage with charisma checks.
Yeah.
I would animal handling this. Are you proficient with animal handling?
I am not. It's the
Okay.
same as charisma.
So go ahead and just roll a charisma check with your advantage from your stuff. And you said it's the same anyways, so.
It's a 5. Both of them.
That was an intimidation check. Am I wrong?
Apparently.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't matter. Anyways, they're all
He's not
ones.
really he's not really trying to intimidate her or anything, but persuasion would be like the closest thing. But animal handling would make a lot of sense. So
They're all plus ones. I don't.
Yeah.
Do you want Rand to do it? I'll animal handle.
So you kind of are talking to it, and you approach, and you are a large person, and it scampers behind the back of the bag, and you can kind of see it like peeking out the side a little bit.
So as I kneel down and I see it scamper away, I'm gonna like reach into my pocket or into like the side of my bag, whatever I can like easily reach, and just pull out some of like my trail snacks that it would have had.
Okay.
And then just kind of like hold my hand out with the non-meat snack I have in my hand.
All right, go ahead and roll, and it should have been with disadvantage. But
Yeah.
you rolled real low, anyways.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll animal handling at this point.
And this one with disadvantage?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. 14.
Once you kneel down, you become much less of a threat to this small creature, and it scampers out from behind the bag and begins to nibble on whatever you have in your hand, be it nuts or berries or whatever. And as it kind of takes that last bite, it begins scampering up your arm onto your shoulder, and it's just kind of like clinged onto the side of your shoulder.
I'm going to laugh as it
Aw.
kind of clings up there, but it's going to turn into a cough because I'm still poisoned. And then I'll slowly stand up. Old guy is armless. Let's carry him out of bad forest.
Better not have taken my stuff.
I'm gonna look
Roll an
over at him.
investigation check as you look through your bag.
12.
There are small bite marks on some of your rations and snacks and things like that, but there's nothing completely missing.
All right, that's acceptable.
If we're done with the petting zoo, Rand just starts walking off.
Yep. And as you have this little sugar glider clinged onto your shoulder, you make your way out of the rest. Well, almost out of the rest of the swamp. And off in the distance, not too far, maybe a couple miles, you can see the Hawkwoods off. The sun begins to set.
Kind of, are we like we're Hogwarts are in the distance still?
Probably take you about
Got it.
hour and a half to 2 to get there. Travel's been a little bit slower through the swamp than you might have expected.
Well, we wouldn't have to go through the Hawkwoods, really. Depending on where we came through here.
Bron say we push forward a little more, get to woods out of not forest.
I mean, yeah, if you were taking a straight shot, like that part directly to the east of where it says Hawkwoods is more like lake than swamp, so you'd have had to kind of head east out and then curve up.
Fine by me, as long as we're out of that goddamn swamp.
Away from gas.
Yeah, we got to figure out that cop's still lingering on you.
Yes. Gas.
Don't
Being
you have,
out of
like-
it seems to be slowly clearing up.
Don't you have like
for you, Bron.
herbs or forest things you can do?
Not here with me. Maybe once we get to woods.
Well, let's push for the woods then. Gesturing towards the Hawkwoods in the distance. Looking at the party.
Mhm.
So you push through for a few more hours.
Yeah.
Begin to set up camp on the edge of the woods. Who's taking watch for this evening?
I'll start our watch. Ryan puts his little goggles down and says, and pokes the fire and says, "You guys, get some rest."
Okay, is Ron doing? Ron.
Rand's
Is
doing
Rand
nothing, just keeping
doing
his eye
anything?
out.
Ron Weasley.
Who's that? Who's that?
Passive perception pretty damn high.
Mm-hmm.
So during your watch, it's pretty quiet. The crackling of the fire there before you, on the edge of the tree line, you can kind of hear the rustling of the leaves through the forest. And back behind you in the swamp, you can hear the deep bellowing of some sort of beast. You can't help to think, man, I'm glad we got out of there.
That's ominous. Rand kind of looks off in that direction, cleaning his gun, sitting by the fire.
Make a perception check as you look off in that direction. It's pretty far, but you might be able to make out some silhouettes.
25.
Um,
And night vision goggles.
right, which extend to like 60 feet. In theory.
Fair enough.
But looking off in that direction, you can see like large reptilian forms on the outlying grasslands of the swamp.
Are they moving?
Mm-hmm.
Are they?
They're
moving?
really far away.
They're not moving towards us.
No.
Huh.
You can just see them.
Okay. Rand's gonna keep his eyes a little more attention on that side of things while keeping the fire low. And,
Eventually.
eventually wake up. I guess a jet as my standard second watch person or next person. I don't know.
Sure.
Why
Yep.
not?
I mean, you guys can talk out of character too. If there's anybody that wants to take second watch, it's fine.
Anyone want second watch?
Characters would have discussed it before, but
Yeah, I'll do it.
I'll take second watch also.
All right, Rand's gonna.
Ooh.
Actually, no. I will take third watch with Bron just to make sure that he's okay while third watch happens.
Rand's gonna poke Jet and give her the goggles and explain to her that in the distance he heard a weird sound and there's something off in the distance there. Looked lizardish, looked like too much movement, so pay attention to that side. Keep the fire low.
Okay.
And just, stay alert.
Thanks.
You'll be fine. How bad could they be? It was a real scary sound. Rand tucks into his tent, closes the thing.
Jet, what are you doing for your watch?
Probably going to sharpen my daggers. Was not a fan of missing. Clearly, it's the dagger's fault.
Yeah, absolutely. Spend a bit of time repairing any damage that might be done to your daggers. Go and you can hear that low bellowing that I described to Ran. It's evident. Those kinds of noises carry for miles in the night with no obstruction. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
13.
13, kind of looking out towards the direction Ram pointed out to you. You can't quite make out the shapes themselves, but you can see movement pretty far off towards the edge of the swamp that you've recently left. And as you kind of turn back and look at everybody while they're sleeping, you're close to the forest. You might have expected that small animal that crawled out of your bag to leave, but you can see Bron's backpack moving a little bit. And you see a little head peek out, half of like a ration cracker in its mouth, and then dive back into the bag. You begin to get a bit tired.
All right. I'm gonna go wake Bron up gently, not on the shoulder this time.
And you saw through the past day, those wounds that were there they're no longer fresh. You know, they're kind of scabbed over a bit. But you go over and carefully poke Bron in a manner as to not inflict any damage.
And I guess I'm gonna go over and kind of nudge Jane a little bit too.
Hey, Jet. Thanks. Was everything okay?
Yeah, there's some creepy noises coming from the swamp, so just kind of keep an eye on it. Can have these.
And right as she says that, you do hear this slow
yeah, that
kind of bellow out from the swamp direction.
Just below that, you hear
I
Rand
don't-
snoring.
I don't like that very much, or that. I put on the goggles and I'm gonna do my little patrolly bit, but without the baton. I don't need the baton if I have the goggles.
Bron, when Jet wakes you up, she kind of wakes you up and then heads over towards Jane. You can kind of see your backpack moving a little bit next to your bedroll.
I'm gonna lift up the flap and then look inside.
As soon as you lift that flap up, you're greeted by two large eyes, half a cracker in its mouth, just staring at you.
Oh, little one is still here. Oh, little one. How
It's
are
kind of like
you?
taking bites and looking at you.
I'm just gonna kind of like, pet it, play with it. Little cute pet in my bag. Not super worried about it. I'll like pull it out on my hand now, and then just kind of like, pet it.
Yeah. You reach down, you give it a little head scratch with one finger, just the tip of your giant finger.
Yeah.
And it kind of like leans in a little bit to it. And as you go to pick it up, it just kind of and like lets you pick it up. It's still cracker like half in its mouth. It's like
I'm gonna take Cinder out and like set him on the ground over near them and let Cinder like play with this little sugar glider if it wants to play.
Oddly enough, you may not have expected it. You're like, I know Cinder is usually fine, but this is like a random animal / rodent thing that has crawled into somebody's bag. You kind of set Cinder down, and for a moment, they kind of like do a little circle around each other, and they start chasing
Testing
each
the
other
water.
around the
Aw.
campsite.
Aw.
Bron, what else are you doing for the rest of your watch?
Dressing my wounds because they've mostly healed, but we also went through a swamp with not nice things, and so I'm just
Yeah.
making sure that I'm all right.
Yeah, and after getting a bit of sleep, your lungs are feeling clear. You can go ahead and drop that condition.
Beautiful.
Especially being back in the forest, the smell of wet evening moss and greenery kind of filling your lungs as you take a deep breath in. It feels like home.
Much better.
Go ahead and both of you roll perception checks.
Seven.
I'm gonna use a lucky point.
Might as well. 7.
You know what? Why not do one more?
Sure.
Well, that didn't matter at all. It's gonna be a 14.
That's not bad. I feel like Bron would find joy in watching the two small creatures chase each other around.
Absolutely.
So he's a bit distracted watching. They're both kind of taking turns as the chaser and the chasee as they run around the campsite. And Jane, as you're kind of flying around, keeping your eye out, you can see that movement towards the edge of the swamp. And you still hear that low. It's not coming towards you.
It doesn't. Okay, it doesn't feel like it's getting closer. Okay.
But much like Ran, you definitely get the. Well, it's probably really good we didn't stay over there.
I just kind of shiver a little bit, and I land and kind of put myself in a position where I can kind of stare over that direction for the remainder of the watch, and just keep an eye on the shapes.
Easy enough. When you begin to see the sun kind of coming up behind you, Bron kind of sees it coming up, knowing you traveled a bit into the evening, letting Rand and Jet get a little bit more sleep before you're all awoken. And the sound of birds, squirrels, various things waking up in the morning through the forest that you're just on the edge of.
Morning time in forest was nice. Always peaceful back home. Little animals.
Let's see which one of you. Okay. Ran, you actually get woken up by Cinder and unnamed Sugar Glider running across your body in your face.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask Bron when he decided to name the sugar glider. Or if he's given it a name.
Bron has not given little glider a name.
Bron, go ahead and roll a nature check.
Right.
No, that seems random, but go ahead and roll one.
Okay. 17.
Yeah. It's not full grown yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get a little bit bigger. Not too much
Alright.
bigger, but it's going to get a little bit bigger. It's definitely... It's a baby.
Gotcha.
I know this is a long shot, but can I ask Cinder what he calls it? Or if he's referred to it as anything while they were playing?
You can get ideas and concepts from your familiar, not necessarily speech.
Oh, that's fair. But, like, is there anything that he associates with it?
Cinder's a little bit confused at the, like, what do you call it question. And you pick up on that and you're like, well, what do you, like, what do you associate with it? Or, like, what feelings are there? And Cinder kind of gives you this, like, curious but happy look. He's not quite sure, but they had fun.
That's good. I'm glad you guys had fun.
So yeah, Ran is awoken by these two small rodents across the face.
Rand jumps up, realizing what's happening, and starts like, get out of here, shooing them away.
And as Ran yells and shoos them away, Jet, you're kind of woken up by the commotion.
Rand crashes his own tent down on top of him, trying to like struggle around.
Oh, I love it.
little halfling fists popping out of the tarp.
Yeah, and that like center post that's holding it up, you like swipe and just knock it down. The whole tent.
It's just a big ball of Rand trying to like struggle in, the two little rodents jumping out of it.
Jane and Bron, very easy to see. Jet, you kind of peek your head around and like see Rand's tent, and you just see Rand like freaking out inside the tent. And all the three of you on the outside see is Cinder and the sugar glider running out.
Eventually, trying
I'm just going to be sitting there
myself.
laughing at this. I'm just going to be fully amused.
Jane is full giggling.
What were you saying, Rand?
Rand will slowly unwrap himself, eventually, while his compatriots giggle. Thanks for the help, guys. Starts grumpy packing up his tent, just all grumbling.
Oh, you're fine, Ran. It's two little rodents just running around. They didn't do anything.
Scare the bejesus out of me.
Good way to wake up.
You should be used to getting scared at night, from what I've heard.
Well, I told you guys about the swamp sounds. Did you hear them?
Yeah, we heard them, but
Yeah, all of you heard
seemed
them.
to stay over there.
All right, then. Keep your darn rodents out of my tent.
Oh, they were just having fun. Didn't you ever have fun when you were young?
I have fun all the time. But not with rats.
I'm gonna stick my tongue out at you and pick Cinder up.
Kind of like playfully stick your tongue out at Rand, put your hand down. Cinder runs up your arm. Sugar glider kind of runs up and then stops and looks at you.
I'm just gonna nod.
And then runs over to Bron.
Okay, that's fine.
And it kind of, Bron, you're not really noticing as you're packing your things up, but you start to feel a skittering running up your leg, and you look down, and little sugar glider's running up to your shoulder again.
There you are, little one. Had fun with Cinder?
Just kind of lets out a little squeak.
I'll hold my bag open for him this time to see if he wants to go in there, because they're nocturnal.
So you hold your bag open in front of you, and off of your shoulder, it jumps off and then dives straight into the bag.
Enjoy your nap, little one. I say as I just pet him all once more, and then kind of close the bag on him.
So begin to pack up your camp for the day. Anything special before you guys leave? Hello, cat.
Cat.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am going to. I'm gonna take that book out again, and I'm gonna look at it again. I'm looking for that face. For that man in the mirror. I'm looking for Michael Jackson. That's what happened.
In the mirror.
Terrible.
Slightly more present, but it begins to fade the longer you look.
Do they look familiar?
Roll a religion check.
I'm gonna use a lucky point.
Oh, you guys can all take a long rest, by the way. So that lucky will
17.
come off. That lucky will come off of your next days.
Yeah, I figure.
But if you haven't taken your long rest yet, please go ahead and do that. What was it? Sorry.
17.
One second, I have to go find it.
Also, I have to roll new portents now.
Mm-hmm. With it being slightly more present, you think you recognize it as Suni, the deity of beauty.
Interesting. I'm gonna keep the book out for a little bit longer and just kind of like as we're traveling throughout the next day, I'm gonna just like slowly read through it.
Okay. Sure. And Bron leading the way through the forest today, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
I will be.
Go ahead and roll a survival check first.
That is a 7.
Okay. Roll a perception check next.
Nat 1.
For a total of
5.
okay. So you all follow Bron through the forest, heading generally in the right direction. Oh my god, Cat, I hear you. 1 second. And suddenly you find yourself in a clearing. Not really noticing before you got there, Bron. In this clearing is a circle of flowers, almost like a flower bed. Vibrant colored blossoms scatter through the area. Flowers coming up to what would be Jet's knees, what would be Bron's mid shin, Ran and Jane's up to your shoulders. It's kind of an odd thing to come across in the middle of the forest.
You said it was a circle of flowers?
More or less.
Is there anything in the middle of the circle that we can see? Or is it like a completely full circle, not like a ring?
Go ahead and roll another perception check.
Oh, that is much better. A 23.
Yeah, that'll do. Kind of peer over the top of these flowers, and it helps with your height. And you can see a slight indent in the middle of this flower bed, as if something is smushing down whatever's there. And then you listen, especially with that perception check. And you can hear faint, not quite snoring, but
It sounds like something is sleeping in the middle of flower. I don't know what here, but something's sleeping.
You should very carefully try to go around it.
Bron agree. Unless, Jane, you want to, fly up, see if you see what in there?
I could give it a shot. I'll see if I can fly up there with my boots.
It's like straight up.
So begin to fly with your boots, and you hit an invisible ceiling. No, I'm just kidding. You fly up with your boots and kind of hover for a moment, and in the middle of this flower bed, It's a semi-familiar sight. Though not purple, like Jet. There's a small fawn sleeping in the middle of the flower bed.
Do they look like they're like a young, like a child?
A child. Just slightly smaller than Jet. Light. Jet's purple, but light brownish fur. The goat's hooves. Curled, rounding, light tan horns. And she's just kind of sleeping there.
Rand's just looking around, seeing nothing but flowers. Wondering why Jane's flying. What's going on?
I'm gonna land and just kind of go over to everyone and just be like, it's a fawn. She's asleep on top of the flower. It's a fawn.
You're one of those, right? Poking a Jet.
One of those.
Fawns.
Technically, I'm a satyr.
Fawn, satyr, whatever. Should go say hi?
Well, they're asleep right now.
It's the middle of the day.
Okay,
Ron,
and if
do
you were
like to be
taking a
woken?
nap, would you like me to wake you up in the middle of the day, even if you were sleeping in the middle of the day?
You know what? Good point. We should leave her be.
Yeah, let's just go around.
I agree. I think that's the best thing to do.
Let sleeping fawn lie.
Although I am gonna take some of these flowers. Shh.
So, outcast fawn. Nudging towards Jet.
So Jet.
It's called Jet and Outcast Fawn,
Yeah,
or
with a question mark. Outcast fawn. Don't get along with the other fawns.
I walk away from this interaction.
I'm just going to ignore Ran and look for my flowers.
Reasonable.
Rand shrugs and keeps walking.
Jet. It's kind of an interesting one. Roll either Arcana or Nature.
And 11.
Something about these flowers seems slightly familiar, but probably not necessarily from recent memory. And as you pick one, you grab a deep violet flower, pluck it, and as you do, a small mote of light lifts off and heads towards the center of the flower bed. And suddenly you hear a small voice. Who? And you see the fawn kind of like hop up above the flower bed. Who's? Oh. She kind of looks at you.
Just gonna wait.
Who? And then for a moment she looks around. Wait. Where? Why are you touching my flowers?
They're just so beautiful. I wanted to take some with me. I'm sorry.
Where are they?
They're my friends.
Mm. Where are we? Wait,
I
how did
believe-
you get here? I didn't bring anybody with me. Mm.
We were walking through the Hawk Woods, I believe. And then we found you here asleep.
Oh God.
Are you okay?
No, I don't remember how I got here. Last night was a little crazy. You're like me. How do I get back to Hawk Woods?
In
Shit!
Hogwarts.
He sent me out of the Fae again. How do I get back? As she looks at you, Jet.
Do I know how? Is that something I know?
She's likely looking at you because you are technically one of the Feywilds, though Jet is not necessarily one of the Feywild. So she's looking at you. You don't really know how.
I can't
She's-
help you with that.
What? But you're from the Fae, aren't? We're not usually here. You don't know how to. You don't know how to get back home?
I think we have different homes.
Oh, my parents are gonna kill me. Can't believe I let him send me back here again. Where are you all going? And she's obviously like either drunk or hungover at this point in time. You guys are picking up on it.
Where are
Oh.
we headed?
Hatfield. Wedded to Hatfield. City.
Where's that?
East.
Is
Northeast.
that in the Fae?
No.
No.
Shit.
How'd you get kicked
You're-
out?
You're currently in Eternine. You're in the material plane.
Oh. Ah, that asshole. Aluin. Oh my god, I can't believe I trusted him again.
You sound like you had a rough night.
Yeah, I don't remember much. All I know is that asshole kicked me out once. I guess he kicked me out again.
What's an Allowan?
What? That's his name.
Who's he?
Some fucking rich asshole that keeps kicking me out of his house.
What are you doing in his house?
Getting drunk, obviously.
Party at
That's what we all
Alan's
do.
house.
Yeah,
Faye don't sound so bad.
again. But I guess if you guys don't know the way back, I'll go find it myself.
I'm gonna look at the party and
Okay,
kind of
Kat.
just shrug and be like,
Oh.
"Hey, stuff in Emerald Forest? You know, do we tell her? Do we let her?"
Face stuff where?
At her hearing that, I'm gonna turn around and go, "Emerald Forest, apparently.
Oh,
More north.
North. Got it. That's
Northeast."
she kind of does like a few spins. That's which way?
We're headed
Uh,
that direction.
Which way?
Rad's
I
just
can
gonna
probably point her in the right direction, right? Because I have that ability where I always know where north is.
Oh yeah, you have keen mind. That way?
Yeah, that way.
Okay. Thanks. Do you want to come home? Looking at Jet.
I'm good here.
Okay, this place sucks. I'm gonna go. And she starts like walking off in the direction that Jet pointed.
That was weird.
Good luck.
I'm gonna kick that asshole's ass. And
Good
as she
luck.
like starts it off in the woods, and you just kind of let her walk away. That's what we'll end tonight's session.
Your family seems nice, Jet.
You better watch it, little man.
Ren just smiles. All right. You calling it?
Yeah, we're past time, so
Fair enough.
we'll call it there with drunk fawn walking out of the flowers.
Drunk fawns and pretend forests. Good times.
Ooh, that's a really good title.
I know.
That is.
Feeling it. That was awesome. Thank you so much for enjoying Floods and Dragons with us, boys and girls. Our Monday night D&D session here at twitch.tv/The Flood with these fine and beautiful people. Can I get everyone to do a quick shout out for themselves? Firstly, our DM, Zidardus.
As a first note, my makeup is so fucked up. This is probably what she looked like when she jumped out of the flowers. I'm Zidardus. I obviously DM here on Mondays. I DM on my stream on Tuesdays. I run another campaign. Also stream on my channel various video games. Lots of TFT recently. Been trying to climb the rankings. TikTok is big for me as well. If you like D&D stuff, though, I've been branching out and doing lots of random shit at this point. So yeah, same name everywhere. Come find me.
All right. Original Dice
Okay,
Mother.
Jesus.
I'm Original Dice Mom on pretty much every social media platform that there is. If you find one that's not me, they're an imposter, and report them to me immediately so I can abscond with the name. Just don't do that, actually. I sometimes stream. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitch, obviously. I'm usually here moderating and being ridiculous. So, yeah.
Babysitting, basically. Ran and the Flood aren't that dissimilar.
Apparently not.
Just jokes. Just jokes. All right. Undead Cupcake.
I'm Undead Cupcake with 3s for ease. I stream on Twitch and I'm on all the socials. Same name. Yep.
And the lovely Zedicus.
Yes, I am Zedicus. I'm just here, hanging out in the Flood Zone. When I can. Hanging out, having fun with you beautiful people.
Beautiful person. And of course, I am playing Ranald Buck, the Flood, and you are here in the Flood Zone. Thank you so much for that. Before we go, I know Zidardus would love to say goodnight.
Okay. As always, we love you all very, very much. Remember to love yourself and love those around you. Be well and be safe. And we will see you here next Monday all together as we continue heading off towards Halfeld, Helsea, and the Emerald Forest.
Good night. Thank you so much for joining us on Floods and Dragons. We play live at twitch.tv/The Flood on Monday nights. Be sure to subscribe here at youtube.com/The Flood to keep up with our latest adventures. Thank you to our DM, Zidardus, and our entire party, Original Dice Mom, Undead Cupcake, and Zedicus. Check the description below so you can follow them up as well. And please remember to like, leave a comment, and let us know what you think of Floods and Dragons and how we can keep making it better for you. See you next time.